Okay, this entryway, not exactly giving the warm welcome vibes that I want. First impressions matter, and right now, this one's saying, ugh. But I'm giving it a full DIY glow up over the next few weeks, and I'm aiming to do it for just under $500. Think affordable upgrades, smart storage, and just enough style to make you actually want to walk through the door. I'm set on transforming this forgettable entryway into a showstopper, all on a budget. So join me on my journey of making our house a home little by little. Did I get some in my eye? Oh my gosh. Let's just say I never want to do this again. Hi guys! We are working with a blank canvas in this space. There is quite a bit to do that's going to take a little bit of time and effort. So let's see if I can get it done. I'm going to walk you through all the different things that we need to accomplish in this space to call it done. We have really textured walls, and I am not a fan of textured walls. It dates the space. I also want to redo this console table. We also have this entryway closet, and this is our coat closet. Now, as you can hear, we have some like really obnoxious noise going on. It's also not very functional. While it's really great for us to put like our coats and everything in here, the previous owners, I guess they like painted in the closet. They never put the shelf back. So we would love to do like some sort of shelf and like bring it up higher so we have storage. I want to do some like built-in system in here. In the ceiling of the closet, there's also orange paint. I don't know what was going on. Today, we're going to be taking the texture off of the ceiling. I don't know if we're going to get to the walls today. I would love to, but I want to be realistic. So here we go. Before I could do anything to the space, I needed to clear it out. That meant moving the console table to another area of the house for the time being, removing the rug, and emptying out the entryway closet. We had so many coats and shoes that needed to be taken out of the closet, but it didn't take a lot of time to get everything out of the way. And before I knew it, the space was cleared out, and I was so excited to get to work. Once I finished clearing out the space, we headed to the hardware store so that I could get all the supplies we needed to start this project. Can you grab it?
I'm gonna grab this one.
Okay. This was a fairly quick trip because I had everything mapped out and I came in knowing exactly what I needed to get. We'll probably have to go to the paint section next because I need like a roller and some other stuff. And of course, my design assistant decided that she wanted to take over pushing the shopping cart, so I fell back and let her do her thing. She made it very clear that she was not going to need my help. Turns out she was in over her head. Okay, so first thing I need to do is fill up this pump sprayer with some vinegar and water, and that's going to allow me to spray the ceiling down and get it nice and damp. Water in here. I'm like not even sure how much I really need. It's not like a huge surface area, so I'm not gonna fill it up all the way. This is a gallon bottle, but I have it about a third filled up. So now I'm going to add some white vinegar to it. I'm just gonna do like a splash. I don't think it needs to be crazy. So I have the HDX sprayer here. I'm gonna assemble this now. Never had, like I don't even know how to assemble it, but we're gonna see. Screws on. Okay, so that's how I like pump it, I guess. And then I'm just gonna spray it on the wall, I guess, first, just to test it out. Well, let's try it out, folks. I'm gonna test it out in this corner first. Oh, okay. What in the world? Okay. It's spraying. That's good, right? This could either go really well or really bad, but I guess I'm willing to take my chances. I used a simple mixture of vinegar and water to lightly saturate the surface of the ceiling and waited a few minutes for it to soak in. This allowed the texture to soften up for the removal process. So I definitely forgot to lay some plastic drop cloth down, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now so I can avoid any excess cleanup and make cleanup a lot easier. Okay, so I waited about 10 minutes or so, and I have this like putty knife that I already had. I'm gonna try and see if I can scrape off some of these areas. I saw like a hack where you can tie a paper bag to it, and that will allow you to like not make as much of a mess everywhere. So I don't know, let's see if that actually works. Okay. The high point's off for sure, but this is what I've done. Like, I got the high points down in some areas. I don't know if you can see that. Like, the high points are down here, but then like this is how it looks now, like the raised part. Of course, it wouldn't be a true DIY project in our house if my design assistant didn't ask me a handful of questions. Trying to get it smooth.
What is that sound?
The water dripping.
The water dripping?
Mm-hmm.
Why the water dripping? And this too?
And of course, as I moved on to the next step, my design assistant kept those questions coming.
Mommy, why are you doing that at the ceiling?
Because I want it to be smooth.
Mommy, why color the floor?
So it's easy for me to clean up everything. There's a great chance that I might end up regretting this. This is definitely an arm workout, but I'm like almost halfway there, so maybe I have a good chance of getting this looking really nice in the end. But we'll see. If I have from here that way done, and I just need to do from here pretty much to here. So I'm about halfway through. We're getting there. Once my assistant got everything off her chest, I refocused and continued scraping the texture off the ceiling. Spraying the solution on the ceiling was definitely the right call. Everything came off like butter. Probably don't want to fall. Okay guys, so I finished scraping the ceiling for the most part. I just didn't take the light fixture down and do like right around there because I kind of needed the light. It's a mess. Look at me. Can you guys see that? Like, I have the compound all over me, maybe on my face too. I have no clue, but this is the mess. It is crazy in here. Anyways, it's time to clean up and be done for the day. Before I could call it a day, I needed to clean up the mess that was left behind. And I'm so glad that I used these plastic drop cloths because they made cleanup a breeze. I removed the messy drop cloth from the floor and then swept and vacuumed any remaining residue from the flooring. I also forgot to remove our mail and key holder, so I went ahead and did that in preparation for the next day. Good morning, guys. It is the very next day. Today we're going to start skim coating the ceilings. I am going to get to the walls, but I don't know if I'll have enough time today to do it, so I'm going to try my best to just get the ceiling done in the entryway. I have my all-purpose USG joint compound that I'll be using to do the skim coating. I'll also be using this 15-inch spiral mixer to mix the joint compound up, and I'll attach it to my drill. I'm nervous, but I'm also hopeful that this will go well. You guys know the drill. Before I could get any work done, it was important for me to cover these floors. Once I was done with that, I was able to move on to prepping my joint compound. Why is it so hard to get open? Ah! Okay.
Yay!
Halfway. Ah! Oh my gosh. Why is this not opening? Oh my gosh. Woo! Got it. Okay. Gonna add some water.
Yeah, water. I love drinking water.
to thin it out. And then we're gonna go in. Oh gosh, I hope this goes well. You gonna help me?
Yeah.
All right. Mixing the joint compound with a little bit of lukewarm water allowed me to get a consistency that was easy to work with. I was eager to start skimming the ceiling, but before that, I needed to remove this light fixture and scrape the texture off that was left behind on the area it was installed. I also removed the closet door from the entryway so that it was out of the way. Once my all-purpose compound was mixed and ready to go, I started applying the skim coat to the ceiling using a 3/4 inch roller, and then smoothed it out using my skimming blade, working section by section. Working in sections was a lot more manageable for me as someone who has never done this before, and I'm so glad I did it this way because I quickly learned that as the joint compound was exposed to the air and started to dry a little, it became really easy to mess up as I was scraping away the excess from the surface of the ceiling.
Mommy, be careful.
Thank you. It took me a little bit of time, but as I kept moving forward, I was able to find a good rhythm and technique when it came to scraping away the joint compound and getting a smooth surface. I feel like a professional drywaller now. Let me stop. This is like not an easy job, and I definitely tip my hats off to any professional drywaller. It's definitely understandable why they charge what they do. Good morning, guys. It is the next day and we are going to get back to skimming the ceiling. I'm also going to do the walls. First, I want to get the baseboards removed, and then also the covers for my light switches, and I think that's it. Oh, I just made a whole entire dent in the wall. Amazing. Maybe I should stop. What am I doing? I needed to remove all the crusty old baseboards from the entryway before I could do any skim coating to the walls. How do you do this without damaging the wall? Here he comes to show off again.
I'm just trying to...
I'm just kidding. It's really in there. What, did they glue this thing to the wall? I definitely had my work cut out for me when removing these baseboards, as there were really thick nails securing them to the wall, and I wore myself out trying to get them out. It was well worth it though, because I was more than happy to get the trim out of there so I can make room for some fresh new baseboards that would help finish the space off instead of screaming for help. It was important for me to also remove the switch plate covers so that I didn't skim them stuck to the walls, and also so I can get as smooth a finish as possible around all the light switches and power outlets. I know it may not seem like I got a lot done this day, but this was one of my busiest days of the week, and I really did my best to squeeze in what I could. Besides, one step forward is a step in the right direction, so I really can't complain. Good morning, guys. It is the next day, and today we are finally going to get to sanding the first coat of the ceiling skim coat that I did, and then we're gonna start tackling the walls. I left you guys off where I was removing the baseboard trim from the walls. I still have this wall to do. We're gonna finish that up and then get everything taped off so we can contain the dust before we get started. Before doing any sanding in the space, I masked off each entry point in the area to ensure minimal dust would travel to other areas of the home. This was really important to keep the space in our home as clean and dust-free as possible, and to make sure that we weren't breathing in any excess dust or particles from the joint compound. I also made sure to mask off the air return vent in the entryway to keep dust travel to a minimum. This was a pretty simple and straightforward step, super simple but very necessary. There was one more area of baseboards that I needed to remove in the entryway, so I did just that before I could get to the fun part. This was the week that convinced me to actually purchase one of those trim puller tools, because I definitely see the value in them after wrestling with these baseboards for the last couple of days. That is like in there. Once I finally got the last piece of baseboard removed from the entryway walls, I was able to move on to sanding the ceiling. So I just finished removing the rest of the baseboards. I have this drywall sander that I bought. I'm actually really nervous to use it. It's a little heavy and I have to use it like kind of overhead like this. So I'm kind of like, what did I get myself into? But we're here, so we need to just make it happen. So we're gonna start now. Of course, I have a fine particle dust mask. I might have to put this on first. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, that's like really tight. I don't even remember how this is supposed to fit, but I'm gonna have these straps in the back. This is going to be an interesting experience. It looked like I am going into a gas chamber, but here we go. Wish me luck, guys. I'm really nervous, like extremely nervous. Wait. Guys, this is not, hold on. I feel like I'm going into outer space. I need a different, like, system. This is not it. Oh my gosh. I don't know where my other glasses are, but this is like super tight. Now, let's do it. After much delay and hesitation, I was finally sanding down the first layer of skim coat on the ceiling. This was to get everything as smooth and as flush as I could before moving on to a second coat. Why did I want to do this again? I need some muscles. My wrist is hurting. Okay. The problem was, I could hardly hold the drywall sander up over my head for more than a few seconds at a time, and I wasn't making much progress. I don't know about this. Guys, I'm exhausted. This is a workout and a half. Like, this is different. I'm not built for this. Guys, he offered to jump in. How sweet.
Going into surgery.
Good luck. It's very heavy.
Okay.
Hubby saw me struggling to get this ceiling sanded and he jumped in and saved me. I was so grateful that he came and took over this part because I really didn't have it in me and I really couldn't have done it without him. Part of our game plan for this step was not to rush it and to try to take our time because it would be very easy to get dents in the finish. Are you done?
All a day's work.
I just know that was a workout because I only got through half of it. And you just finished it off for me.
Yeah. My second gym workout for the day.
Look at the floors, guys. This is actually really not bad in comparison to what it would be if we didn't have that. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't know if I want to do another coat. What do you think? Should I do another coat?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Do you feel like this hallway looks or feels taller now that the texture's off the ceiling, or is it just me?
I think it's the light.
The light being gone? Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.
Once hubby finished sanding the ceiling, I took over to sand down the high points on the walls. This helped to make the skim coating process a bit easier and would ensure that I didn't need to go in with an unnecessary amount of coats with my joint compound. This was a lot more manageable for me and my little baby muscles than sanding the ceiling, so I was able to get this done without any help. Good morning, guys. It is another day, and today we're going to be skim coating the walls. That way everything can dry for 24 hours and cure, and then we can do sanding tomorrow. So let's get into it, and yeah, let's see. I'm a little nervous. Looks like I'm getting somewhere pretty quickly. Got it out. Here we go. Skim coating the walls was much like skim coating the ceiling. The big difference here was that I had much more texture on the walls to cover since I couldn't just scrape it all flat before skim coating like I did with the ceiling. It's always important to keep this skimming blade clean as possible so that you get the best possible results. I found that wiping my skimming blade off in between passes really helped me to get a really smooth finish, especially on this first coat. Okay, so for the smaller areas here, closer to like my doorway trim, what I'm gonna do to really get into this corner is use like a smaller taping knife, and then just spread it, and then I'll use a smaller skimming blade to skim that out and get the texture out from these like tighter spots. Using a smaller putty knife really helped me to have more control when applying the skim coat to these tighter areas. I realized that when scraping off the excess compound from the walls, there was a lot of noise from the raised texture that was still there, and it got me a little nervous, but based on the research that I've done, this is pretty normal for the first coat, and once I went on to do my second coat, it should be a lot smoother, and I shouldn't hear as much noise from the bumpiness of the walls. So I have this skimming blade. This is the smallest size that comes in the Rolling Dog skimming blade set, and it's literally the perfect size for this little corner, so I'm gonna use this to skim everything out. With a little bit of practice, just going for it and getting it done, I was really able to find what worked the best, and next week you guys are gonna see exactly the kind of results that I got. Hi guys, it is the next day and today we are going to be sanding the walls. We've given it about 24 hours for everything to dry properly and cure, so now I'm going to go in with my drywall sander and I'm going to get to sanding everything smooth. The one thing that really helped me to get through the tedious and back-breaking task of sanding the walls was listening to some music in my headphones. It really helped me not to focus on how exhausted I was, and before I knew it, I was done and ready to move on. In order to sand the smaller areas of wall, I had to use my orbital sander and I chased it with my vacuum, try to eliminate any excess dust. But what I failed to get on camera was how much dust was still produced with this method and how it actually kept setting my carbon monoxide and smoke detectors off. It was really a pain. I'm so tired. I'm definitely gonna have to do a second coat on the walls. That's a no-brainer. Like, I wasn't even gonna debate that one. This is definitely a workout. Like, I don't need to go to the gym because I do DIY. Like, literally, it's all of it is a workout. Like, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. I'm gonna start skim coating the second layer on the walls. Ceilings, not today. I really don't have it in me, but yeah, let's do it. With a longer skimming blade. I am a little confused because I see like bubbling happening, so I'm like, did I put too much water or did I not mix it good? I'm like so confused as to what's happening, but I'm just gonna smooth it out and we'll see what happens from here. I surely hope I don't have to do 3 coats because I'd be so sick, because I was definitely betting on this being my last coat. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Applying the second coat of joint compound was much like the first, and I was excited because I felt like the finish line was in sight, but I was in for a treat because little did I know at this point that I would need a third coat for the walls before I could prime and paint them. Well guys, this is the end of week 1 working on the entryway makeover. We got quite a bit done, but we still have a bit more to do. Okay, can I be honest with you for a second? One of the most annoying errands that we have to run every week is hauling our big water container to get it refilled. My husband and I pay for an alkaline water subscription service, and sometimes we're making that trip twice a week. It takes time, it's heavy, and it's honestly just a lot. For a while, we just thought that this was the only way that we can ensure that we had clean, great tasting water here at home. But then we found GlacierFresh and their Countertop stainless steel gravity water filter system. And it is honestly going to be such a game changer for us. What I love most is how simple it is. No electricity, no plumbing, no complicated installation. You just pour water into the top chamber, let gravity do its thing, and filtered water collects in the bottom, ready to drink. The 2.25 gallon gallon capacity is perfect for keeping on the counter, and now we have fresh water anytime for drinking, coffee, cooking, all of it without planning a refill run. And as a bonus, it's amazing for emergencies, power outages, RV trips, or camping because it doesn't rely on power at all. For us, this is going to be such a practical switch. No more hauling heavy containers, no more refill stops, just clean water right here at home. Whoa, that's actually really good. I'll leave more details down below in the description box if you're interested in checking it out. And tell me, are you team refill station or would you rather filter your water at home? Good morning, guys. It is a whole new work week here in the entryway, and I left you guys off doing 2 coats of skim coat on the walls, and I did 1 coat on the ceiling, and I realized that I'm gonna have to do a 3rd coat on the walls because we have some like imperfections that I know are gonna be visible once I get the paint on. So I really want to take care of that, and I decided to buy some +3. It's a lightweight joint compound that shrinks a lot less than all-purpose, so I'm hoping that will solve my problem. And then we're gonna get a 2nd coat on the ceiling, and hopefully we can call it done at that point and then get ready to prime and paint this week. Of course, I couldn't get started without the help of my design assistant. Before I could do anything, we covered all the flooring so that cleanup would be a breeze. Once the floors were protected, I got started preparing the +3 joint compound by adding a little bit of lukewarm water and mixing it thoroughly with my mud mixer attachment to get a smooth consistency. Think somewhere in between whipped cream and yogurt. After getting my +3 compound prepared, I applied it to the ceiling using a 3/4 inch roller and lathered it on the ceiling, going section by section to make things more manageable. I used my skimming blade to smooth everything out once it was on the surface, and this was definitely the more therapeutic part of the skim coat process. I was really starting to become so proud of myself for the work that I've done, especially this being my very first time doing something like this. Wow, that's probably like one of the best passes I've done. It looks really good. That was pretty good too. 3rd time's a charm, they say, so let's see. Yep, that was really good. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that. I think for me, using the smaller blade allows me to have better control. That looks so good. I'm so proud of myself because it looks really good. I only have like the smallest section. I don't know if you guys can see. That's all I have left, and then I'm done. I'm so happy. Now, once I'm done with that, I can move on to the walls, and then we'll be done. And I'm pretty sure, like, I'm doing so good on time that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to finish the last coat on the walls today. Skim coating the ceiling was definitely a labor of love, but I've learned so much through tackling this project, and I couldn't be more pleased with the progress and how well everything was turning out. We're done with the ceiling! Okay, so I just finished the last coat on the ceiling, and now I'm going to start on my final coat for the walls. And yeah, let's just get into it. Once I finished the final skim coat on the ceiling, I moved on to applying the final coat on the walls. For the areas like above the doorways like this, like the smaller areas, I was able to sand with my orbital sander, and I found that the orbital sander really helped to get everything extra smooth. And in those areas, there aren't a lot of imperfections. So what I'm gonna do is just go around with my taping knife and fill in any like imperfections that I see. And then I'll go and like use my larger skimming blade and the paint roller in order to skim coat like the actual larger surface area of wall. So. I don't know what's up with these bubbles. This skim coating journey has definitely felt like a long one, and I did have a few moments of frustration, especially after having to do 3 entire coats on the walls. But the end result was definitely worth all the time and effort that I put into completing this, and every time that I look at my entryway walls, I can't help but be so in awe of my work, especially knowing that I've never done skim coating before. I'm almost done, guys. This is the last bit of the wall. Finally. Okay guys, so I finally finished the final coat on the walls. It's looking a lot better. There are some seams that are visible, but I believe that once I sand everything down tomorrow, it will kind of disappear and the walls should look very smooth, so I'm happy. Honestly, I just like to nitpick at little things, and I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, I'd like to think. Maybe not somewhat, I am a perfectionist, but I kind of like inspected as I went along and made sure that I got all the spots that I saw that were like little divots or bubbles. So it should be good tomorrow. Tomorrow's sanding day, and then depending on what time I get done sanding everything, I might be able to at least prime, but we'll see. I'm not gonna bet on that. Good morning, guys. Today is primer day. I have 2 different primers that I picked up. Well, I already had one that we used to paint the ceiling in our kitchen when we got the ceilings like redone. And so I'm thinking I could just go ahead and use that and maybe return the other primer that I don't need. And then I can save some money and put that back into the budget. I have this Kills PVA primer. And then I have the Zinsser Bullseye 123 primer. So first thing that I'm going to be doing is sanding the ceiling and the walls down. And instead of using my drywall sander, I am going to try wet sanding. And if you read the instructions on the bucket for the joint compound, it does say that you can use a sponge to wet sand to eliminate dust. And I really do want to eliminate as much dust as possible. And I think because I used the lightweight +3 compound, that it should be a lot easier to wet sand. So I'm going to be going in with these sponges. I'm going to dampen them with some water and just go ahead and see if that'll smooth out any of like the fine lines. Before I get to sanding and priming, we're gonna cover the floors. Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Come on, let's go.
Hey.
What's your favorite part about helping me with my projects?
Painting.
Painting? That's your favorite part?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that I'm surprised by that answer.
Yeah.
I know you love painting. You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
You think you need sanding?
I think I need a sand, you're right. How did you know that?
I don't know, but I know.
You don't know, but you know?
Yeah.
That's an interesting take. Well, I might have some good news for you.
Okay.
When I prime the walls, you can help me.
Oh, sorry.
You'll help me?
Yeah.
Ah, awesome. I knew you'd be excited to help. Okay, I need you to spread it. Go ahead.
Spread it?
Yep.
Put it right here?
Yep.
In here?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Perfect.
Because you don't want to get paint anywhere in there.
Yeah, right. I don't want to get paint in there. Thank you. What about over here?
Oh, yeah. Because you don't want paint.
Oh, yeah. That's working. This is going to be an arm workout for sure, but It beats all of the dust getting everywhere. I'm not gonna lie, I'm already second guessing this because this is just like an arm workout. And it's working, but I really have to do a lot to get it smooth. So now I'm like, should I just bust out the drywall sander and be done? But then I have to tape all the entry points off. I was trying to eliminate as much dust because like we're working, we have like just so much dust that's accumulating. Ah, did I get some in my eye? Oh my gosh. You can see that like as I wipe it down, it kind of like smooths out those seams. I just don't know if it's worth my time and effort to just go through the whole wall and do this. While it will reduce the dust, I'm also thinking about my time. I mean, it looks a lot smoother, but I can still see those ridges, which makes me feel like I need to just sand. Then I feel like it's also creating like a texture on the walls from the texture of the sponge. This was pointless. I'm going in. Done. I'm so happy. It looks so good. Okay guys, I'm done with the ceiling. Now we're gonna do the walls. Let's do it. After realizing that wet sanding was going to be way more work and take way more time than I had planned for, and didn't seem to be as effective as I thought it would be, I busted out the drywall sander yet again and got to sanding my final coat on the ceiling and walls. Okay guys, I'm done. I am literally sweating. My hair looks crazy because I've been taking the mask off. And let's just say I never want to do this again. The only problem is I actually have to do this again because going up the stairs, we have a whole nother hallway with textured walls and a textured ceiling. So I actually have to do the hallway, but I am like 100% convinced I'm not going to be doing the ceiling up there. Like, I'm just over it. This is the last ceiling that I will skim coat. Mark my words. I just want to say to whoever was the person that installed the texture on these walls and the ceilings, thank you. And I mean that with the most sarcasm. I'm going to get everything cleaned up. That way I can get the primer up. After all the sanding, it was finally time to clean up the mess I made, and while I didn't end up getting to prime this day like I wanted to, I was happy with the progress that was made and I was one step closer to the finish line. Good morning guys, it is prime and potentially paint day. I didn't get the paint yet, so if I do end up painting today, I have to go to the store. I purchased this microfiber like mop head with the pad from Dollar Tree, and it was $1.25 each, so that I'm able to wipe all the dust off the walls and the ceiling before I prime. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Also from Dollar Tree, I got this little paintbrush that I'm going to use to get any dust out of the corners, and then a hand sander just to get any of the areas that I missed with the big drywall sander. I know it may be really tempting to just jump to the fun stuff like priming and painting, but in order to ensure a professional-like finish, it's really important not to skip prep steps like these. Before I could start priming, I really needed to ensure that my surfaces were well prepped and ready to go. This consisted of me first sanding the tighter areas that I couldn't really get with my big drywall sander, like the corners where the wall and ceiling meet, or around my return vent and alarm panel. This was a pretty straightforward process, and it didn't take me much time to complete, so I wasn't really mad about it. Okay guys, so I just finished hand sanding for the areas that were harder to reach with my drywall sander. Everything looks so good. I'm so proud of myself because this really looks like a professional job. Like, I'm actually shocked. It was a lot of work. I just looked over and I saw a spot and I'm about to sand it. Okay, now we're done. Now I can dust everything off and get to priming. So another important part of the prep process for me was to ensure that there was no residual dust on the wall and ceiling surfaces. It may seem like an extra step, but it only took me all of 2 to 3 extra minutes, and I felt much better knowing that there was no chance of any dust messing with the overall finish. If you've been wanting to get rid of the ugly texture on your walls or ceilings in your home, but you just can't afford to pay a professional thousands of dollars to do it, I want to encourage you. This was my very first time doing this, and while I was really nervous leading up to this project, I knew that the only way that I would learn is by actually trying. So for anyone who's been thinking of doing skim coating in your home, I say go for it. Take your time, do the necessary prep, and know that nothing worth having comes easy. It is a lot of work and it can be challenging, but don't be afraid to pace yourself and take it room by room or even wall by wall if you need to. Okay, so we're done wiping all the dust off of the walls and the ceiling. Now I'm gonna vacuum all the dust up and then we will start priming. I'm so excited to see the walls coming together. So this is a workout. Okay, whew.
Got it! You paint?
For this next part, my design assistant decided to step in and take over. I forgot you're like a pro at painting.
I got
Don't
it
be
by
afraid.
Well, I got it by myself. Painting is so fun. I paint by myself. Painting is a pro, right?
Painting is a pro?
Yeah.
You mean you're a pro?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yours on me?
You can have this one. You can paint this.
Not yet, hold on.
Not yet. You paint now? Mommy, paint now?
No, come here. I'm gonna give you this roller. Good job.
Painting's not hard, right, Mommy?
Painting's not hard.
Yeah, I'm a pro.
You're a pro. Look at you. You are a pro.
Yeah, I like you. I like Mommy.
You're like me? Are you calling me a pro?
Yeah.
She called me a pro. How sweet.
Painting is so fun. Right, Mommy?
It sure is. I like painting more when I'm painting with you.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, it's true though.
You didn't make the bumpy walls anymore now. No bumpy walls.
No bumpy walls. It was finally time to get the primer on the walls, but before I could start rolling away with my giant roller, I needed to cut in all of the walls and ceilings with my angle brush and a smaller roller so that I could get the areas that my larger roller won't get. And luckily enough, I had my design assistant to help me with this. Oh my gosh, I love this already. Guys, that's like almost a quarter of the wall in like 10 seconds. I love this thing. I feel like I'm gonna use this every time I have to paint now. Like, why would I want to use a regular roller? I don't. It's awesome. painted like half the wall in 10 seconds. Once I finished cutting in with my brush, I was able to move on to rolling the primer onto the walls, and I was super impressed at how much quicker I was able to get this done just by using a larger paint roller. Here we go, start the timer.
Wait, Mommy.
I wish we had this when we had to paint the kitchen ceiling. Once I finished priming the walls, it was time to prime the entryway ceiling, and I was able to get this done in no time. Okay guys, so in total, it took me 5 minutes and 23 seconds to complete the whole entire ceiling in this entryway. Keep in mind that the time includes me actually like reloading the roller with more paint. So even with that, 5 minutes is literally insane. And then what, it took me maybe a minute or two to finish the walls in here. So I'm not complaining about that. So I'm saving so much time, and now I have time to go to Home Depot today and get some more supplies. While I allowed the primer time to dry and cure in the entryway, we took a family trip to the hardware store to purchase the paint for the entryway walls. And while I had taken a lot of time to think about what sort of color I wanted to use in the entryway, I hadn't quite nailed it down to a specific one just yet. We looked through some samples in the store, and I got my husband's input, and we were able to decide on a color. So I ordered my can of paint, and while we waited for the color to get mixed up, we headed to the trim section in order to pick up some of our decorative molding for the wall feature that I plan on doing in the entryway. Of course, it wouldn't be a proper trip to the hardware store without a little bit of fun.
Like you're about to go jousting.
Jousting?
Is that what it's called? Jousting?
I'm gonna do pole vault.
Oh, pole vault?
How do you do it? Wait, hold on.
It's like a grown-up's playground.
I probably look so dumb right now. Like, what in the world? If you look all the way up there, I think it's like about 15 and a half or 16 feet, and I'm like 5'5". Yeah, I think that checks out. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah. So this is like, let's call it 15 feet each. So that means I have 60 feet in the cart. And I don't think I need that much, but I'm gonna do some calculations and then determine if I took too much. Alright, now let's get to measuring. Oh, he's got the form. You got the form. You gotta teach me that. After getting my trim cut down to sizes that would be easier to transport in our vehicle, we picked up our paint and headed home. Good morning guys, it's the next day and we finished priming the ceiling and the walls in the entryway, and today is paint day. So guys, I have this leftover ceiling paint that we use to paint the ceiling in our kitchen, and we purchased this over a year ago. So I'm really hoping that one, it's still good, and two, I'm hoping that I have enough for the ceiling. I feel like I should because it's really not that much of a surface area, so let's see. I'm also kind of wondering if I should just use this white paint for the ceiling in the closet of the entryway, and then if I don't have enough, use like my regular paint. Let's just try it and see if I have enough. I'm gonna try to stretch it as best as I can. Oh, this is not enough. I don't think that's enough. Like, I really don't think that's enough. Okay, guys, so that's not gonna be enough paint at all for the ceiling. So what I'm gonna do is just use this paint to paint the ceiling in the entryway closet. And then I'm gonna have to go to the store and go and buy some more paint for the ceiling in the actual entryway. So, that's so frustrating, but it's okay. We're gonna just do what we can now. I used the leftover ceiling paint that I had to paint the ceiling in the entry closet, and it worked out to be just enough. I used a brush instead of a roller to apply the paint so that I could really get into all the nooks and crannies that were in the ceiling, especially since there was the access to the attic in this closet. I finished the first coat of paint in the entryway closet ceiling. Now I'm gonna start painting the actual walls in that closet. And I have here a bucket of my Scuff Defense. This is Simply White by Benjamin Moore. It's color match. So before I can start painting the walls of the entryway closet, I'm gonna remove the support braces or the shelf that was supposed to be there, because I am gonna raise it so that way we can have a shelf that's a little bit higher up and make better use of the height of the closet. After wrestling with the baseboards, I decided to pull the trigger and buy this trim puller device, and I can attest that it has been a lifesaver. I'm gonna try and see if I can use that to remove the trim from this area. I see a screw, so I might actually need to remove that screw first before I try to pull anything off the wall. This is the only screw that I see. I'm gonna reuse this with the rod, and then I'm also gonna reuse these and just like move it up. We're trying to save money around here. In order to remove these shelf support pieces, I first unscrewed the little bracket pieces for the closet rod, and then scored at the support pieces with the utility knife. I then used my trim puller to pry the pieces off the wall, and once I was able to get each piece off, I made sure to remove the nails so that I could reuse the supports for the entry closet storage project. I then scraped away at any remaining caulk or raised bits from the wall to get everything nice and smooth and ready for paint. Since the entry closet is such a small space, I just used a 4-inch roller to quickly paint the walls, and it didn't take me much time at all. And I know what you may be thinking, I could have done a little bit more to prep the walls for paint, especially where I took the support brackets off, but since I'm planning on building out storage in here, the walls really didn't need to be perfect. Okay guys, so I finished painting the closet. I'm gonna paint the walls now because I already have the paint, and I honestly don't want to have to like pause the project just to go and get paint for the ceiling. I'm gonna use some painter's tape and just tape off the edges of the ceiling so that way when I paint the walls that I don't get any like the wall paint on the ceiling, if that makes sense. It was getting close to lunchtime, so my assistant wanted to be proactive and make sure that I was okay with her making a call to order some lunch for us. What people? Oh, to order the food?
Yeah.
Good idea.
You call it?
Yeah, I'm gonna call them now.
Not me.
You know their number? You know their number? 911? That's not the number for food. You'll get the wrong people. Okay guys, I got the ceiling taped off. I went to Home Depot and I got some ceiling paint. So I just kept it in the ultra pure white color that it comes in. I think I'm gonna do the walls first and then the ceiling. Let's go ahead and get started. It was finally time to get the paint on the walls, and I started by cutting in and then rolling everything out with my 18-inch paint roller. As I was seeing the color go up on the walls, I was really starting to feel unsure about my choice, but I decided to just go all in and allow myself time to sit with the color before making a decision to change anything. Usually an advocate of testing paint colors out in a space before settling on a color for your space, but I was so stuck on trying to stay within my budget that I didn't want to buy paint samples, and it ended up biting me in the butt. More on that later. We'll see. I'm not loving it. Guys, I fear I picked the wrong color. I don't like it. I think what I'm gonna do, just to see, because like it's also throwing me off that there's such like a big contrast between like the white trim and door and the color of the walls. So I'm gonna paint the trim of the closet to match the wall color that I chose and see if that makes a difference and if I like it, just so I get like a better idea. Okay, I'm in the living room so I can look at it from a distance. Obviously the color is going to be different around the trim because it's still wet. It's not dry yet, so it's still lighter than like the walls. I still hate it. Like, I don't like it at all, and I think you guys are gonna laugh at me for this. Like, literally, I think I'm gonna paint the hallway white again. Okay guys, it's the same day. I just changed my top because I had to go somewhere, and then I just didn't feel like changing my top again. But anyways, pretty sure I'm gonna change the color of the walls, but I have the ceiling paint, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint the ceilings since they're ready to be painted, and then tomorrow I'll head back to the hardware store and try to figure out what color we're gonna go with. Once the walls were dry, I was able to paint the ceiling before calling it a night. Painting ceilings can quickly become something that is dreadful, but I realized that the quality of the ceiling paint that you use is really what makes all the difference in the outcome and how easy it is to apply. I painted the ceiling. It looks really good. This is like, it looks like a new construction, like new build ceiling. Hello, love it. Moving forward, if I ever need to paint ceilings again, this is the paint I'll be using. It's the Behr Premium Interior Ceiling Flat in Ultra Pure White. I love it. I only need to do one coat. I don't have to do another coat, which is amazing, and I'm not gonna do another coat. Well, good morning guys. It's the next day. I have the entryway painted. On camera, it doesn't look too dark, but I definitely think that it's darker than what I was going for. So I ended up getting 2 paint samples, and we're gonna test them out this morning so that I can see what it dries down to look like. Let's get the samples up. actually really like that color. And this one, they look very similar. I'm leaning more towards off-white. The Greek Villa looks a little too light, whereas the off-white, it's giving more of the feeling that I want. I want it to have just like a warmth. Oh my gosh. Hubby's here, he's off camera right now, but I have the 2 samples up and I want to get his opinion on them. This color is Off-White by Bear. This is Greek Villa by Sharon Williams. Which one are you more drawn to? Based on like the ideas I've shown you and kind of what I'm going for, but also what do you like overall?
The Greek Villa.
The lighter color?
Yes.
Can you explain why? What makes you like drawn to that one over the other?
Because it's lighter.
So you like lighter. That was my initial color that I was gonna go for, so I think I'm gonna go with that. All right, thanks. Oh, turkey. Got my paint and we're gonna get to it. Open it. Oh my gosh, it's running so bad. I probably should like dry the roller. Oh no. It's still kind of wet from when I rinsed it out. Moving forward, if I am even the slightest bit unsure about a color for my space, I will be buying paint samples so that I can avoid this from happening again. All in all, I was so content once I saw this new color up on the walls, and it looks even better with the wall trim. I really can't wait for you all to see that, but you'll have to wait for the next video. This color, Greek Villa, was the perfect blend of being bright and airy, but still giving off that cozy feeling with the warmer undertones of the shade. It truly was the perfect pick for this space. Okay, it's time to paint the closet now. While I had the paint out, I decided I would go ahead and put a second coat of paint on the walls in the entry closet. So I went ahead and used the same Greek Villa color in there to finish it off. Okay guys, so I just finished the first coat of the official paint color for the entryway, and I also painted in the closet. I do have to do some touch-ups in there where I removed the old shelf and all of that, but I decided to just paint first since I have all my paint supplies out already. After everything that I went through to get to this point, I was feeling super relieved to be getting the last coat of paint on the walls. I am so happy with how much I got done, and majority of the work that needs to be completed after this is all pretty progress. I can't wait for y'all to see it, and I'll also be updating you on where I am within the $500 budget, so stay tuned for that. I know this has been a little bit of a crazy ride, but I thank you guys so much if you've made it this far in the video. Good morning, guys. I'm really happy because as you can see, the walls are painted. This is the color Greek Villa by Sharon Williams. This is exactly the color, the vibe that I was going for. I am not going to keep the trim this even better beige color. I'm going to change that. And I'm just going to like color drench. Technically, not really, because I'm not painting the ceiling the same color, but all the trim is going to match the wall. What I'm going to be doing right now is mapping out all of my wall molding. I did purchase some base cap molding from Home Depot because, as you guys saw in my inspo pictures and my mock-up, I do want to put some kind of wall trim on here just to make it stand out more. I don't know if I'm just going to do like 2 boxes or if I'm going to do a larger box in the middle and 2 thinner ones on the side. I'm really going to just try to map it out with some painter's tape, and I took the measurements and kind of mapped everything out already. This is my drawing. It's a rough draft. This is like this would be that wall right here, and then the staircase, and then this is the closet, and then this is the other wall. I'm not an architect by any means, but you know, I love stuff like this. So I'm not quite ready to install my baseboards yet, but I do want to just put them in place so that I have a better idea of the actual amount of space of the wall that I have. So enough yapping, let's get to like mapping this out. The first order of business for me in this process was to double check all of my measurements to ensure that everything would fit the way I envisioned. This did feel like an extra step, but I was really glad that I did this because I was able to catch some errors that I had made early on before anything permanent went up on the walls. Oh. I used small pieces of painter's tape to mark where the vertical pieces would be located on the wall and to get a better visual so that I could decide if this was truly how I wanted everything laid out. Once I got all my pieces of tape up on the wall, I was able to settle on my final measurements and move on to the next step. That's 30. Wait. Did I not measure this wall properly? 2.5. 10. I must have miscalculated, guys. I don't know. I'm like, wait a second. This is not adding up. 30, 40, 50. 55, 60. What in the world is going on here? That's so crooked. Okay. So you guys saw me get some base cap molding from the hardware store, and this is what I have. I'm not cutting anything down yet because I want to make sure that I know what I'm doing. Essentially, I'm gonna tape these on the wall to get a better idea. I'm trying to save on cost, so I do want like that custom look, but the more cuts that I have, the more trim I'm gonna have to buy to make up for those cuts. I'm just gonna tape it down. I then decided to dry fit all of my trim pieces so that I could really get a good feel for the final look. I really hope it stays. Oh! Okay. I'd be lying if I said I didn't expect that to happen. I kind of like that this doesn't have a wide gap and then it starts like a new bot. I kind of like that look, guys. You guys may be thinking, okay, it's a small wall, why not just do 1 box or 2 boxes so that way they're wider? And the reason why is because from a design standpoint, a lot of times when you do things in 3s or odd numbers, it tends to flow a lot better and feel, oh my gosh, not again. It tends to flow a lot better and feel more balanced, whereas even numbers like 2, 4, it may feel either like cluttered or just not really well balanced. Okay, I'm gonna try to cut one of them, and I'm gonna use my handy dandy miter shears and hope that I can cut it with that, because this one is really like not comfortable to use. Like, it doesn't have a really nice grip. Down here, which is 57. I really hope this piece is easy to cut because it's a lot thicker. And like I said, I might have to get another pair of miter shears because these are like not the easiest to cut with. Oh my gosh, I have to like do something crazy. Okay, you guys don't want to know what I just did. I stepped on it to cut because I couldn't do it with my hands, but it worked. It worked. I kind of like it. Like, should I just cut it? Like, should I make them the height of my closet so everything kind of like matches up? Will it feel like there's too much space up there? That's my concern. I don't want it to feel like empty at the top, but then it's also such a small area that I feel like putting a box up there is not gonna look good. So I don't know. Cut it like this. I needed to try to cut it, realized I can't cut it, and then I just stepped on it like this. Don't try this at home. Guys, don't follow me, okay? I'm just like a problem solver. I try to figure things out, and so this is the way I figured it out. Okay guys, I've decided that I actually really love this placement, so this is what I'm sticking with and I'm excited about it. I think it looks really good. I want to show you guys some of my inspo pictures, like this one. I love how the box is longer and then there's a mirror in the middle and the sconces, and that's actually exactly what I already planned on doing over here. So I feel like it just works really well. And if you look, they actually did bring the molding up past the closet there, and it looks fine to me. My only issue is that I kind of already cut some of the trim pieces. Some of these pieces were already cut before I brought them home, so this is what I'm settling on. I'm gonna start just making marks on the wall with a pencil because these are bound to fall off the wall is what I'm finding right now, and it's just gonna be a lot easier for me. I'm so happy because it's coming together and it's gonna look really good. Good morning guys, it's the next day. We finished mapping out where we're gonna do the trim on this wall in the entryway. Since I already have this wall mapped out, I wanna just go ahead and get everything up on the walls and then we'll move on to the next wall. So let's go ahead and get started. The shorter one would go here. It was finally time to get to the fun part, and I decided to install all of my vertical pieces first since I spent most of my time mapping out where those would go. So then we light it this way. Humid in here. I worked piece by piece, cutting everything to the size that I needed, and I also decided that I would be working on this wall first before moving on to the other wall. Guys, we have a dilemma. Okay, so these, you guys saw me mark them together, but for some reason, one of these has space under here. I guess I cut one too short, but I don't know. We're gonna try to make it work because I don't have money to just be spending on extra pieces. I could use that piece for something else, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm here to tell you, even as a perfectionist myself, that sometimes you will make mistakes while DIYing, and it is perfectly okay. I was so tempted to go and buy another piece of trim just to get this piece to be exact, but in the grand scheme of things, I was the only person that was gonna notice it, and it was gonna be hidden behind our entry table anyway. I cut a 2.5 inch spacer because it will help me to make sure that everything is evenly spaced. So I have my spacer here like that. It literally is perfect. That's so awesome. Using this spacer block really helped me to keep things moving quickly once my initial trim pieces were up on the wall. And before I knew it, I was done getting all of my vertical trim pieces up on this wall. I'm done with the vertical pieces. It looks really good. I'm loving it. And now we can get to cutting all of my top and bottom pieces. Make sure that it's on the right side and mark. Okay guys, I want to talk really quickly about something with you guys, and there are many ways that you can do trim like this. I've seen where, like, when you run into something like this, like a obstruction in your trim, you could like cut everything to wrap around it and then finish it off like that. The thing is, if you want to save on cost and save on trim, then it'd be easier to just finish it off like this versus wrapping the whole object. You know, it also comes down to preference. Some people may love that look. I personally don't, and this is what works best for me. So anyways, I cut this piece down and it fits perfectly. Got my pieces here. I'll be honest with you, I made like rough measurements for this one and I'm hoping it fits. Oh, that was literally perfect. Yes. Okay, awesome. No battery. I do this all the time, guys. You know this. Since all of my vertical trim pieces were all up on the wall, installing the horizontal pieces was a breeze. This project was so rewarding because I was able to see the fruit of my labor almost immediately. So now we do the top. Okay guys, I have one really long piece of trim left that will allow me to finish the top pieces here. So I'm gonna make a mitered cut right at this edge, and I'm also gonna measure for the other corner. Okay guys, moment of truth. I think I need to just trim up a tiny bit more, just a slither, and then it'll work. So let me go and do that. Take two, guys. I need to shave it down just the slightest again. All right guys, take three. Let's try it again. Okay, there we go. It fits. Okay. Okay, last two pieces. Let's see if they fit. This one fits perfectly. This one I cut a little tiny slither too short, but I can fill it in, make it work. I need my glasses. What am I doing, guys? I need to hammer that one in a little more. I made a mistake. I cut this piece too short, so in order to make it fit, I cut an additional like spacer piece, and I mitered both of them so that way when I put them together, the seam is very minimal, and then I can like just fill that in and make it as seamless as possible. Sorry, you're not even seeing what I'm doing, but it'll go like this, and then this all will just sit right in the spot. Let's see if I need to shave it off anymore though. That looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than it did before. This is the end of the first day of box trim install. Good, I'm gonna sign off for the day. Okay guys, so I'm gonna be planning out all of my trim pieces for this side of the wall. I have everything kind of like drawn out. I took measurements and determined what width each one of my boxes are going to be. I'll be able to fit 3 boxes on this wall, but they will be a little bit wider since this is a wider wall. I'm gonna make a spacer of 3 inches so that way when I get ready to install all of my vertical pieces, it'll be very easy for me to just use that as a spacer and nail it in. So without further ado, let's get talking. I mean, not let's get talking. Let's get to work and enough talking. This day was very much a repeat of the days prior, as I used the same methods as before for this second wall. We're gonna see if my measurements were all accurate or not. Now, this wall is a bit larger than the first one I did, so my measurements had to be adjusted accordingly. I wonder if I can, oh, okay. So I'm like, I wonder if I can somehow finesse this to where this is like in one of the gaps. I'm gonna map it out to what I had already planned, and then we're gonna look at it from there. So this would be one box, and then maybe like a sconce here or something. And then this would be another box. I'll like maybe mark in a little X where I plan to have my little sconces. So if this is the line, right? I'd probably do like... Some of you may be wondering why I didn't just use a laser level to do all of this work for me, but remember, I'm working on a budget, and honestly, I want to be able to show you all that you don't always need all the fancy power tools and supplies to get the job done. Dare I say, for every power tool you see your favorite DIYer using, there is a more affordable and many times just as effective alternative. After all the measuring was over, it was finally time to start installing the trim on the second wall in the entryway. Did I run out of nails? I sure did. Ugh. Watch out. I can honestly say that I was really nervous prior to doing this project, but the fear all melted away once I got started. Oh, Houston, we may have a problem. I think the outlet cover for this might hit this. What are the odds that it's like just exactly right? I'm thinking that this trim would have been fine, but I think it's gonna run into the plate. Yep, plate. So I'm gonna actually have to cut into that. I don't even know where my pencil is yet again. I keep losing my pencil. How is that even so? Pencil, anyone? No? Oh, thank you, Mama. So sweet. Okay, I'll use the one you gave me. Guys, I only have a couple pieces left. I just cut down this middle piece and it fits perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and nail it in. This is probably like one of the most perfect cuts that I've done, which is crazy. I ran out of nails already, huh? I'm not sure if I like let you guys know. I'm just using 1 1/4 inch or 1 1/2 inch nails. So the middle box is complete, but I will have to remove this side piece to cut a notch out where my light switch plate is gonna be. I mean, another option would be to just cut my light switch plate. I could do that. I might do that actually. It'd be a lot easier to just do that than to cut into my trim. And I feel like it'd also look a little more finished if I cut into the light switch plate and not my trim. So I think I'm gonna do that also because I could replace this a lot easier than I can my trim. It's more affordable. So I think I'm gonna cut this and not my trim. Wow, wow, wow. I really did this, guys. Looks so good. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna, since I already have the nail gun out, I'm gonna go ahead and put this baseboard in. Sure. That one is not wanting to go in all the way. Hello guys, it's the next day, and as you guys can see, we have our picture frame molding up on the wall in the entryway, and now I'm going to caulk the seams so that everything is nice and seamless looking. I'm going to fill the nail holes. I'm also going to be finishing up the baseboards in here and then let everything dry, and then we can do touch-up paint tomorrow. Now that all of the base cap molding has been installed, I went ahead and caulked all of the seams of the trim, and this might seem really tedious to some, but this is a step that takes a job from amateur to professional. If done right, of course. So I wanted to share this little tip with you guys. I saw this in a YouTube video, and pretty much when you cut your angle on your caulk tube, you take a permanent marker of any color, obviously other than white, and you just mark where the like pointed tip part is, so that way you can keep your tube at a certain angle, so when you're caulking you get a cleaner application. So just wanted to share that little tip with you guys. It may be easy to overlook caulking, but it is really important to the overall finish of any trim project. I have something that I want to share with you, and we welcomed a new addition to our family, and here she is. She's just the sweetest little girl ever, and her name is Zola. She's a red golden doodle, and she's just the sweetest, calmest little puppy. She's 9 weeks old, and she's a standard, so she's gonna get about 50 to 55 pounds. She has the sweetest temperament, like very relaxed, very chill, but then she's also very playful. And we just got her yesterday. Yesterday I took the day off just so I can, you know, get her settled in. She's so sweet. And so we got her for our daughter's birthday. We're just really excited to add her to the family and to the YouTube family. Of course, you guys will be seeing her in videos here and there. So I just wanted to introduce her to you guys. If you're seeing this, put in the comments, welcome to the family, Zola. And her name is spelled Z-O-L-A. Okay guys, so I finished caulking all of the seams for all of my trim, and everything looks a lot better. Now I need to fill the nail holes. I'll be using this Drydex spackling. Another part of the finish work for this project is making sure all of the nail holes were filled so that everything would look nice and seamless. And trust me, this is not a step you want to skip because it will help to make everything look super custom and put together once it's all painted. Hello guys, it's the next day and I filled all the nail holes on the picture frame molding, caulked all the seams. So now that everything has had plenty of time to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and sand all of my spackling down where my nail holes are. I also have a few more pieces of baseboard that I need to install. Once the nail holes were filled and the spackling was dried, I started sanding everything down using a sanding sponge so that all the trim was nice and smooth and ready to be painted. I finished sanding all of the nail holes down on my trim, and I have an area of trim that I need to actually bondo because I ended up cutting one of the angles too short, or one of the pieces too short. And so in order to prevent it looking like super choppy and just having like a blunt, like straight cut, I angled that cut and then fit another piece with it to fill the length that I needed. But that leaves me with a small gap that needs to be filled. While I let the Bondo dry on the trim that I needed to fix, I turned my attention to the light switch plate. I got to cutting down the light switch plate with my multi-tool, and this was a little tricky at first because even with it being clamped down to my worktop, it kept sliding around, so I had to apply a lot of pressure to keep it from moving while I cut it, but not too much to where it would snap. And once the light switch plate was trimmed down, I used a sanding sponge to sand it smooth. Now, I know these light switches aren't the prettiest to look at since they are probably original to the home from the 90s, but I fully plan to switch them out eventually, just not right now. Okay guys, so in order to sand down the area where the Bondo is, I'm gonna use a little unconventional tool, and that is my nail drill. And I feel like this stuff, it works really well to file down like acrylics and stuff like that. So it should work pretty well in that area because my multi-tool, I just don't have the right attachments for it. So I'm gonna use my nail drill, and I know some of you guys might really like come for me in the comments. I really don't care because if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. So we're gonna see. Now, if it doesn't get the job done and you come for me in the comments, then I really did it to myself. But let's hope that it works, okay? Can you hear that? I'm gonna see if it works. Oh, it seems to be working. I bet you guys have never seen anyone on YouTube use a nail drill to do something like that. It's not perfect, but it's a good start. I'm just gonna use my sanding sponge to kind of like smooth it out even more. I don't know. Helping. So with the nail file, I actually made an indent in the trim a little bit, so I do need to fill that again, but I'm gonna use spackle because it's more of a shallow indent. When you think about it, a nail file really isn't too far off. It's kind of like using a Dremel, but I just don't have one, and so I just use what I already have. This will be fairly easy to sand. We have our paint here, Big Villa. Now that all the trim was prepped and ready to go, I gave everything a nice coat of paint in the color Greek Villa to match the walls using my angled brush. Good morning, guys. It's the next day and we finished the first coat of paint on all of our trim pieces. It looks really, really good. Everything is just like blending in so smooth and it looks like custom, so I'm really loving that. We have lots to do today and I'm really excited about potentially how much I get done today. The next day, I did a second coat of paint on all of the trim to make sure that I got the best coverage possible. This definitely took a little time since I had to make sure that I didn't skip over any areas, but the end result was well worth the extra effort. I know installing the baseboards after I've already installed and painted my picture frame molding may seem a bit backwards, but sometimes I work according to the mental capacity that I have for the day, and this week it seems some things just ended up being done a little bit out of order, but no worries, we still got it done. I used some shims to make sure that my baseboards were level before attaching them to the wall. I noticed that whoever installed this flooring left a lot more than the standard 1/4 inch gap between the floor and the wall, so I wanted to make sure that my baseboards didn't fall in the gap and become uneven at all. I'm so tired. I'm trying to get up. But I had a workout yesterday, guys. I had a interesting strength and conditioning class with some figure skating on the side, and now we're gonna get to work. If I can get up. Once the baseboards were installed, I got all of the seams caulked with my Alex Plus and all the nail holes filled with spackle so that it all looked fresh and clean and was ready for paint. And yes, I did spare you all and I decided to sand all of the spackle and paint the baseboards off camera. Good morning, guys. It is another day and we are going to finally get the front door painted. Time to get to work, guys. I'm gonna try to prep this door. I also don't necessarily want to scrape the whole door if I don't have to, you know? But like if the paint is coming off, then I need to get it off. Before I could apply any paint to the front door, I needed to prep it so that I could get a really great paint application that will last and won't chip. I used a wallpaper scraper and scraped away any paint that was peeling from the door and then followed it with the sanding sponge so that I could get the surface as smooth as possible. I think I've got it to a decent point. I'm gonna prime it before I paint just to be on the safe side. I'm gonna use the BIN primer. This is my favorite primer and I can paint in 30 to 45 minutes. Since it is shellac, it should seal everything really well. So we're gonna go in with this and see what happens. Different paint. Once my door was prepped and ready to go, I went ahead and sealed everything using my BIN shellac base primer so that the surface of the door would more readily accept my paint. Good morning, guys. It's the next day and as you can see, I primed the front door and so now it's time to finally paint it. So I have this Sherwin-Williams, it's HGTV Home, Sherwin-Williams interior and exterior door and trim paint. I'm excited to see how it turns out. I really hope I end up liking it. I got it in the color Caviar by Sherwin-Williams, which is black. I have all black on because in case I get paint on my clothes, I don't want to like completely ruin my clothes. And we're gonna get to painting this front door. It feels pretty good, like with the primer on, so I'm assuming that everything will stick pretty well. So let's get to it. Ooh, that's thick. I'm a little nervous. I feel like because it's black paint, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot mess this up, you know? Alright, so like I really hope I end up liking this.
I'm honestly, out of all the things you did, I'm actually honestly concerned about this one.
I'm scared about this too. I don't know if I'm making the wrong decision, and I don't know what I was thinking. Oh my gosh. Once I finish, it should look good, right? I feel like as I'm painting it, I'm really nervous because I almost feel like I'm making the wrong choice together. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you a little sneak peek of what it looks like with the first coat of paint. It's not bad, like you can get an idea. Obviously, I would paint the trim black to match, right? I don't know, it's not bad, it's not hideous, right? I really feel like this part of the makeover is about trusting the process. While we're here doing the second coat, let's go over where I am within the $500 budget for this entryway makeover. For drywall materials, I spent $48.98. For paint and primer, I've spent about $111.02. For all of my base cap molding, I spent a whopping $122.54. For miscellaneous materials like the trim puller and the large level, I spent $30.62. And for prep materials like the disposable drop cloths and painter's tape, I spent $24.13. So that brings us to a total of $337.29. Now, to be fair, I did want to mention that I did not include the cost of the drywall sander, 18-inch paint roller kit, or the skimming tool set that I used, simply because these items were either sponsored, which means that I did not pay for them, or are higher price items like the sander that were all extremely helpful and efficient, but not completely necessary in completing the project. I will include links to more affordable alternatives to these that may be just as convenient in the description box below. But if I were to have paid for and included these higher price items in my budget, I would easily be over the $500 just from these three items alone. With just over $160 left in the budget, let's see if I end up going over. Before I could do anything, I headed to Lowe's, grabbed a cart, and went straight to the peel and stick flooring section to gather some much needed supplies for this project. For the flooring in the entryway, I plan to do a checkered board design, so I got 2 different options to achieve the look that I wanted. I made sure to sort through and check each tile thoroughly for any imperfections so that I didn't end up bringing any defective tiles home. I also made sure to grab tiles that would give me a good variety of marbling, as this would play an important role in making sure that the tile work looked as natural as possible once installed. And I wasn't expecting this part to be so difficult, but I found myself wrestling with the shelves just to get the tiles that I needed. Once I got all the tiles loaded into the cart, I checked out and headed home so that I could get back to making more progress in the entryway. So guys, I found a light fixture for this entryway and it's just the exact style that I'm looking for. I was bouncing back and forth between a few different light fixtures and I couldn't pull the trigger. I couldn't get myself to order the light fixture that I had settled on. And I think it's because it's not truly what I wanted. It's just that the light fixtures that I did want were all out of my budget. So at the last minute, I was like, you know what, before I order this light fixture that I'm not 100% sold on, I checked Facebook Marketplace and I found the perfect one, and the lady listed it for $60, but I actually negotiated down to $50 since I had to drive like 50 minutes out. Yeah, I scored this light fixture for $50, which is about the same or even less than what I would have paid for the one on Amazon that I was going to order. And I think this is the better fit. This is more of what I was going for. This light fixture is originally about $85 and I got it for $50, so that's a pretty good discount. I'll let you guys watch me put it together and install it, and then we're gonna do the flooring. I just want the light fixture up before I do the flooring so I'm not messing it up or scratching it with like the ladder or anything, and we have to like deep clean these floors before we install the flooring. Let's put the light fixture up. I'm excited. Okay, so they left these instructions with me. It looks like they might have stored this box in their garage or something, but it says loosen the cylindrical nut E, then move the flying saucer. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Loosen this. When assembling the light fixture, I did my best to follow the instructions step by step, but I will say some parts of it could have been a little bit more well written. Okay, maybe I need to like loosen this even more. Oh yeah, there we go. Am I doing this wrong? This is diagonal, so there we go. No fear, my design assistant came to my rescue and lent a hand. At least that's what I thought. She was actually swiping my phone so she could text on the job again, all under the guise of helping me out. Screw the straight tube D onto flat tube A. I don't know. I think, like, are we missing something? She was so good at it, I didn't even catch on at all. Once I got past all the confusion, I had the light fixture fully assembled and ready to be put up in the entryway. Then I got hubby to turn the breaker off so that we can get started on the install. Really, when I need you to help me with this turning the breaker off.
Trust me that again?
Yep, I do. Because this is being recorded for quality and training purposes. Guys, this is the light. I think it looks so pretty. This is what it'll look like. Ah, I love that. That's so cute.
That's pretty.
Yep. Facebook Market always coming in clutch. Yeah, I'm gonna take my jewelry off because after the last mishap, let me see the wires through. It's better to be safe than sorry, so let me just take everything off. Is there a flathead screwdriver in there? Can you pass it to me, please? Apparently there's flathead screws on holding this thing in. I don't know why, but that one's kind of thick, right?
Want to use this?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'll use that. I might need a smaller one. Something about wires just really scare me now. They didn't before. This is not gonna work. But for now, I'll use this because it seems to be working. So. Oh my gosh, why is the screw so long? What the heck? My arm is hurting. I think it's stuck. There's no way that this is really happening right now. I'm just trying not to get dust in my eye at this point. Sure, why not? I'm up here already. Makes me look more official, I guess. And you're like sure that this is off, right? Did you like take all the stuff off? Like,
see that much short.
Yeah.
There's only one way to find out.
We need to get like a voltage tester because I feel like that's like the safest way to make sure that I don't get electrocuted.
You know how you test that?
By touching it?
Put those two wires together.
Wow. Why would I want to do that? I'll let you do that. You want to do it? Because you sound like you do.
Do you want me to do it?
It's the way I'm legitimately nervous. I got hubby doing this. I got too scared. He feels more comfortable right now. Why is he so annoying? I'm just gonna stay here for moral support right here on the step stool. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. Oh my gosh, she's messing up the ceiling. Amazing. And I'm cutting your pay in half. This is crazy.
I'm taking you to court.
He scratches the ceiling, then he dings the ceiling. What else?
What else you did, Daddy?
All this so I don't
What, electrocute?
get my pay cut even more.
Are those gonna be okay?
What do you mean?
Like it's not gonna spark,
I need
right?
you to hold it. No, it shouldn't spark. That's all.
So for whatever reason, we couldn't get the light fixture up. The wires connected fine, everything, but something about the screws that came with it, it was really hard to like get the right length so that we can secure the actual fixture to the ceiling. So because of that, I had to just walk away from it. Hubby had to go to work. So I'm going to pivot to something else. That something else is the floors. So I need to deep clean the floors really well so that I don't have any trouble with the peel and stick tiles adhering. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with cleaning the floors really well. The first step in prepping the old flooring and making sure that my new flooring would adhere well and be long lasting was to clean the floors. So I took to my vacuum to make sure that I got rid of any lingering dust or debris from the flooring. I have my steamer here. I'm gonna steam the floors. That way we know that everything is really clean. Come out now. Once my floors were all vacuumed up, I got my trusty steamer out and struggled just a little bit to get it set up. But once I did, I steam cleaned the entryway floors for a thorough clean and sanitize. While this step may seem a little unnecessary to some, I wanted to make sure that these peel and stick tiles were going to stick well and weren't going to start lifting, especially since this entryway is such a high traffic area. Okay guys, so I steamed the floors. What I'm going to be doing now is installing the tile, the peel and stick tile. Now, I have two things that I was considering. Either centering the middle point of the tile to the kitchen entry, since like when you first walk in, that's like what you see, or centering it to this front door. I'm not really sure which one to do. I think I'm gonna play around with them first. What I wanna do is a checkered tile pattern, but I also want it to be in a diamond shape, I guess. Instead of laying it just like that, my plan is to lay it like this. So it's really just the positioning of the tile. So that's essentially my plan for the flooring in here. My daughter wants to help me. She's been dying to help me for the last like 4 days. We're finally getting to the floors. What do you say? Let's do it, right? Okay, first what I'm gonna do is measure the door, get the center point. Oh, you're so thoughtful and helpful. Thank you. She just got me my measuring tape. How'd you know I needed this? Because I said I'm gonna measure. So smart. Okay, let's measure. I'm gonna get a Sharpie so that I can mark the old floors. Perfect. I literally marked it right on to the T. I think because the gray tile is more dominant of a color than the white marble, I'm gonna start with gray. So here we have the first. Okay, so that's my starting point. In order to make sure that everything lined up perfectly and looked intentional, I made sure to measure and mark for my center starting point. This would make all the difference when it comes to the final result with this flooring. And while I got the first few tiles laid, my newly promoted design consultant was standing by ready to jump in at a moment's notice. tile was down, it was super simple to get the remaining full tiles laid. Okay, you want to roll that one? Go ahead. Of course, with the help of my design consultant, laying down all of the full tile pieces was pretty simple and straightforward. I simply removed the paper backing from the tile that I wanted to install, applied it in the direction I wanted, and rolled it out using a rolling pin that I had to roll out any air bubbles and apply extra pressure to help them stick well. I alternated between the gray and white marble tiles, paying very close attention to the different grain patterns on each one as I laid them. Boom, boom, boom. Whoa! I really made sure to keep the seams between each tile as tight as possible, as I wasn't going to be grouting, which, fun fact, you can actually do with peel and stick tiles. But in this instance, it was very important for me to keep all the seams very tight and uniform. And my design consultant took her role very serious this day when it came to quality control.
Sometimes you walk out the house.
One thing I love about this peel and stick flooring is that it is super easy to make adjustments, especially when you have tight spaces like this where you just need to notch out a little bit of the tile and fit it right in place. Okay guys, so I wanted to show you an example of what I mean when I say like different grains of the marble. So this is one, and it's the Mystic Gray or Mystic Marble. So that's one, and then this is another one, and they're two different patterns. So I'm gonna pick this one because I don't think I've used this one yet on the floor, and so I'm gonna put that one in the next spot. But this one fits exactly here. Consultant, I need you to take the sticker off. Oh, cool. You're sliding. Ah.
Got it. You better put it in there too.
I'm gonna put it right here.
Mommy, like a sticker.
It is like a giant sticker, and I know you love stickers.
I do like stickers. You know that?
You love a good sticker.
Got the rolling pin.
Go ahead. Little tile guys, straight lines or handstands, whichever works. Okay, I think we already have like a more plain one right here, so we need one with more texture. Can you give me a white one with more texture and grain to it? All right, so I like these two. Which one do you like better for the next one?
I like this one.
This one?
Which one do you like the better?
I was thinking this one, but I can always move it. This is my ab workout for the day, guys. I'm ab rolling and laying floors at the same time. Okay, I want to consult with my design consultant. Should I lay this one this way or this way?
This way, that way.
Wait, I'm still going. Or that way. Or that way.
That way, that way, that way. That way.
Or this way.
No.
What do you think? You do. Put it how you think it should go.
This way.
I think you might be right. I think this way is right. All right, design consultant.
Me?
Yeah, you. I need you to pull the sticker off.
Ooh. That was a workout.
Was it this way?
Huh?
Was it this way?
Yeah.
You sure?
This way.
Okay. Push it down. Push it down. There we go. Okay guys, so I dry fit the rest of like the full tiles here. I pre-arranged it exactly how I want everything to look with like the grain and just everything, and I think it looks really good right now. So I'm gonna go in and just like take the backing off of each one and place them exactly how I have it dry fitted. So let's get to it. we're gonna continue. We're almost done. These are my last full tiles in the actual entryway, so everything else is gonna be like partial tiles, except for in the closet. I may need like a couple in the closet that are full, but everything else will be cut. I just have these 3 full ones left to do, so I'm gonna go ahead. Guys, that was the last full tile in the entryway. Now I just have to do all of my cuts. I also need to figure out how many tiles I need for inside of the closet. So I'll see if I have enough for the closet. Okay guys, so I'm in the closet. I'm just gonna kind of like map out what I'll be needing in here. See, I won't even get like a full tile there, but it's just about a full. And let's say we do another one here, and then one right here. Yeah, this would be barely a full tile. Oh wait, I can actually fit it in here probably. Cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and start laying these down. Since this entry closet is fairly small, I only needed to install a few full tiles in here before moving on to all of my cut tiles throughout the entryway. Not quite. I might actually be able to finesse it. I'll just cut a little bit. I wanted to make sure to get the flooring laid out in here before my closet build situation, as it would be much harder to install the tiles after I build out the closet storage. Okay, that was the last one of all of my full tiles. And now I have to do all of my cuts, like my half tiles, quarter tiles, the weird cuts. But it's dinner time, so I'm gonna stop here, make some dinner, and then after that I can come back and see what I can accomplish tonight. But we also have family coming this week for my daughter's birthday, and they're actually coming tomorrow morning. So I'm trying to get these floors done, but also get the house like in order by tonight. So I may or may not have to like have the floors halfway done when they get here and just finish, but we'll see. Yeah, let's stop, make dinner, and then we'll come back. At this point, I was getting pretty tired, as this project was definitely taking a bit longer than it would for the average person, but that's honestly just my reality when it comes to DIY, and I'm here to keep it real with you all. After all of my full tiles were finally installed, I had to make some cuts to the remaining tiles so that they would fit nicely in the spaces that were remaining in the entryway. You're enjoying the new floors. What do you think? She's like, I don't know. Oh, you like them? Maybe let's not, it's not a snack. Let's not do that. What do you think? Yes? I think you like them. Made a little template, 12 by 12, out of a piece of paper. From that template, I can kind of mark where like certain cuts need to be. Using this template method for all of my special cuts really helped me to ensure that all of my cut tiles fit as snug as possible, helping me to eliminate large gaps between the baseboards and the flooring. It really made a difference when having to get these tiles cut into some really weird shapes. Since I'm not completing my hallway makeover just yet, I decided that I would cut down the baseboard piece that I need here, but I wouldn't fully install it with the nail gun yet because I still need to like complete this wall. That being said, I'm gonna remove this just so I can install this as flush as I can, the tile, and then go from there. One thing that I found that was really helpful when applying all of the peel and stick tiles to the old flooring was to use some liquid nails to really get everything nice and secure. And this was especially helpful for these really weird cuts around corners and trim to make sure that everything would sit in place and not shift easily. I will say though that the sticky backing that already came on the tiles was really strong, and I don't necessarily think that you need to use liquid nails, but for me I just felt that it would help me to feel that everything was a lot more secure. Okay guys, it's the next day and we're finishing up the last few bits of tile in the entryway. We made so much progress. It looks really good in here. I went to Lowe's and I got about 5 more tiles because while I did measure correctly for the entryway, I forgot to account for the actual entryway closets. So I went ahead and I purchased about 5 more tiles. I got some caulk, but this is white. I keep picking up clear on accident. I'm back in the entryway closet and I'm gonna try to finish up all of the smaller cuts in here. And yeah, let's just do it. So I have this corner piece here. This is where the closet door goes, and I made a cut here, like a small piece here, and I made sure to glue it down with liquid nails just for extra security. So now I'm going to use this piece to finish out in here. When installing all of these smaller weird cuts in the closet and even along the entryway, one thing that really helped me to ensure that the tiles were not gonna pop up as the liquid nails was drying was to use some weights that I had laying around in the house and just lay it down so that it would help to weigh these tiles down and help gravity do its thing. I only had a few minor cuts to do in this closet, so this process didn't take me much time at all, and before you knew it, I was done. I think that this flooring project really made all the difference when it came to bringing my vision to life for this space and really tying everything together, like the wall color and the door color. Okay guys, so I just finished tiling in the closet. It looks so good. And I only have 3 more pieces left to do in the actual entryway. I have this corner piece here right by the front door. And then I have this piece right here, which I actually need to do a little surgery there because of the previous floor that's kind of swelling, I guess, from water. Now I'm gonna make these cuts and then I'm gonna do this piece probably tomorrow because I do need to figure out what to do with this fuzzy area that's been exposed to water. I'm thinking that I can take my multi-tool to it. My dad said I could, but my multi-tool is kind of trash. So I'm hoping that it works and I can smooth all this out. As you can see, it's raised. So let's get to it and then we'll be done for the day with this right now. But I have this tool that I'm thinking that this is helping to smooth it out. It is smoothing out this texture that was swelled up. So I think I'm gonna just keep doing that. Before just slapping the peel and stick tiles over this area, I really needed to fix the swelling in the old flooring so that I can ensure that the tiles placed here would last and adhere well to the surface. Now we need to turn our attention to this monster over here. In order to fix the swelling, I scraped away at the damaged material with a drywall knife until the surface was smooth, and I found that in one of the damaged areas I also needed to use a pocket knife to really get the bulk of the damaged material out. I then sanded everything smooth with a sanding sponge and vacuumed up all the debris. Okay, so I have some super glue that I'm gonna go in and fill this with so that it can harden. and that'll help to create like a barrier. And I've used this trick on furniture flips before, where there was like particle board that was exposed to water, and like then you can build it up with like Bondo or something afterwards, so that you're able to paint over it and it creates a smooth surface. So that's where I learned this trick from. Oh my gosh, wait, why is that happening? It's literally like smoking.
What's smoking?
The super glue. That's concerning. Somebody come here. Why is it smoking? Once the super glue was dried, I also sanded down some of the high points so that everything would sit nice and snug. Really clean, there's no like residue. I then made sure to smooth out the tiles with my rolling pin, and it was looking good as new. You would never know that the floor underneath was swelling, so it looks really good. Since we couldn't figure it out on our own, my dad, who was in town, kindly offered to finish installing our light fixture for us, and he got it up and running in no time. In order to fix this unsightly gap that was left where I laid some cut tiles at the bottom of the staircase, I installed some cove molding. My miter shears to get everything cut down to size and get all of my angles cut. I then fastened the trim to the bottom of the staircase using my brad nailer. This was honestly such a quick and easy way to make this area of the flooring look nice and polished. And it truly made all the difference in the final product. I then used some DAP Dry Deck spackling to fill the nail holes with some spackle, and shout out to one of you guys for this tip, because once the spackle was dry, I used a damp paper towel to gently scrub away or wet sand the excess spackle, and the surface of the trim was left really smooth. I really like this tip because it prevented me from over sanding the trim and making sure that everything looked as smooth as possible. So thank you so much for leaving this helpful comment on my video. I actually do read all of your comments, and I keep a lot of your advice in mind, especially if your comments were very respectful and helpful. I really appreciate that. So I definitely look forward to all of the comments, and if you're at this point in the video so far, leave a comment down below and tell me what DIY project that you're currently working on or hoping to work on in the near future. Now, I know you all might be thinking, are you going to paint the trim? And while that would be logical, I am planning to replace this trim once I get to my staircase makeover, and so this is just a temporary solution that will get changed later on. Plus, the difference in color is so minor that you can't even really tell. Before, the floors in this entryway were dark, dingy, and did not look great in this space. I am so glad that I completed this flooring makeover project because it is so budget and beginner friendly, and it really made all the difference in this entryway makeover. I really am so pleased with the final outcome of these floors, and this just might be one of the easiest DIY projects that I've done to date. The subtle yet impactful contrast of the checkered board tiles really gives this space that luxe look for less, and all for just under $85. This is literally such a mind-blowing transformation, and to know that you can achieve this with less than $100 for a smaller entryway like this is really encouraging and makes everything that much more achievable. Okay guys, today we are going to be planning out this closet build and trying to figure out exactly what it is that I want in here, what it is that's going to be functional, And what's really going to serve our family well, I am going to kind of get a lay of the land. This closet is 24 inches deep and it's 50 inches wide. Let's get to it. Before I could purchase any of my materials or pick up a power tool, I needed to make sure that what I wanted was going to work in this space. So I used some painter's tape to get a better visual for exactly how everything would come together once it was built out. This really helped me to decide if I needed to make any big changes before buying and cutting materials, and prevented any unnecessary waste. So the thing with these shelves that I really want on the sides is if I have shelves coming out about 10 inches, I'm not really going to be able to hang anything up here. Like that takes away from being able to hang stuff. I don't know what to do. This one here, you guys will see later on, but usually with a custom build like this, there are going to be changes that you have to make, but you just have to be willing to pivot and do what needs to be done. This is definitely option A as far as the closet storage goes. Me personally, my priority is shoe storage. And I don't really want to mess with this side of the wall because of the water hook up here. I don't want to touch anything over here and like mess it up. I think I'm going to leave it like this, let my husband come home. We'll talk about it, discuss what our needs are further, and then go from there and see. This is the planning part, guys. Planning part, but so far I really like it. Like I feel like this would be really good. It's just a matter of what can actually fit. So once I had an overall idea of what I was going to need for this closet build, we headed to the hardware store and picked up some MDF boards that would make up the bulk of the build, and some 1x2 pine that would give everything that custom built-in feel. You're gonna use the gloves to pick it up. I guess that's smart. Just borrowing the gloves.
It's here for a reason.
And I also had to pick up some extra closet rod hardware for this project. We did also need to get some of the MDF cut down so that everything would fit nicely in our vehicle. Once we got what we needed and checked out, we loaded up our vehicle and went home so that we could get straight to work. Hello, it is the next day, and today we are finally going to get started on the closet build itself. You guys saw me map out exactly where I want all the shelving to go and the closet rods and all of that, and so now we're going to get everything installed. We went to Home Depot and got our MDF boards for the actual framing. I got them cut to size in the store, but what I realized is that the cuts are not very accurate, so I am gonna have to shave some down just a little bit. Now guys, I thought of something as I was like looking into the closet and like, okay, just making sure that I did think of everything thoroughly. I'm gonna actually raise this shelf up about 6 more inches. I have it marked to 74, but I'm actually gonna raise it to 80 inches. That way my double rods for hanging coats will allow enough space for everything to not like overlap, if that makes sense, just so everything is has enough room. Enough yapping. I'll just walk you guys along through this whole thing as I'm doing it. Let's get to it. I wanted to show you guys my little drawing. This is the closet, the shelves, flooring. That's my drawing. Would it be bad if I sat on this? I feel like I'm gonna use it as a seat because yeah, I need to change out this blade. Problem is you might have to help me with this one, sir, to change this blade out. I need whatever this is called, the thing that goes around this.
A wrench?
Oh sure, a wrench, yeah. Don't worry folks, it's not plugged in, so I'm being safe. Before making any cuts, I needed to swap out the old blade on my circular saw for this super fine tooth blade that is perfect for giving me clean cuts on material like MDF. And when I say I mean hubby, of course.
There you go.
Thank you, kind sir. Once my saw was ready to go, I got to cutting down the MDF boards using my little makeshift cutting station. Of course, I had to recruit hubby to help, as this was not going to be an easy task without another person or the proper clamps. I clearly didn't have the ladder, so I needed hubby in on this. Sir, you should be wearing a mask. You don't want to be breathing MDF in.
Just gotta breathe any of that in.
And you know what they say, measure twice and cut once. Bro, he cut all of them too short. This is 23 and a half. And this is like 23. I don't know, we'll see. One thing that I found really helpful when making these cuts using my circular saw was just taking my time and not rushing through the cuts, especially since I was using MDF material. I didn't want the cuts to come out rough and I wanted everything to be as smooth as possible, so it was important that I didn't rush anything and that I really just took my time throughout this process. These came out perfect. I don't really need this mask right now. These are going to be my supports for my shoe shelves. Was that a wasp or a bee? Did you see that? It touched my finger. It's coming back. Oh my gosh. Watch out. This piece is clearly not straight, which is so frustrating. Once I got all my major cuts complete, I brought the MDF inside and started marking where each of my shelves would be located on my longer boards. And of course, I had a special visitor during this task. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's happening here. Someone wants to be the star of the show. Gotta let go. Okay. Oh my gosh. This that I marked here is where I'm gonna notch out on the bottom of these so that it can fit against the baseboards. I'm gonna be making pocket holes in my shelves. To make this a little quicker too, I think what I'm gonna do is mark where I need to make my pocket holes so I don't confuse the sides. This one's gonna go here. adjustment guide. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know if I have enough of the screws I need. What is happening? I think I ran out of the amount of screws I need. I'm gonna have to go to the store. I think I got it. Not my battery about to die. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. So now I need to go and charge this. This is so annoying. I feel like everything is slowing me down today. It's been a little bit of time and now my battery should be charged up enough. Did some yard work in the meantime. This is definitely not like the best drill. I need to upgrade eventually. I'm gonna have to like step on this thing. I'm like not practicing the best body mechanics by doing this way, but it's gotta get done. So one thing I actually want to do that I might do in the meantime while my battery for the drill charges is I want to paint this little piece here that covers the panel. I want to paint it white, just spray paint it to kind of match the wall a little bit better. Okay, I'm also going to lightly sand this just to lift it up. It doesn't look the best. I feel like this material doesn't really hold on to paint really well, and so I'm like, maybe I need to prime it with shellac primer. There isn't much of a difference, like it's just kind of like sitting on top of it. The last pocket hole is complete. So happy about that. This is the bottom of my shelf. I'm gonna make sure that my pocket holes are facing towards the bottom so you can't see them. It was finally time to assemble my shelves, so I used some pocket screws to fasten each shelf, making sure that my pocket holes were facing downwards so that they could not be seen at eye level once everything was put together. So now I'm like, how do I do this now? MDF is no joke, guys. Like, it's actually pretty heavy. Oh, you see this? Look at that. That's my shelf. So now we need to put the screws in for the other side. Okay, Houston, we have a problem. Thank God I didn't screw anything in yet, but I marked all of my lines on the other side and I actually need to flip this over because as you can see, I made my notch on this side. So nothing's gonna be lined up, but we're gonna have to sort that out. Yeah, so wait, hold on. Whoa. Watch out. Now we have a problem because everything was lined up according to... Oh my gosh, what do I do now? Can you pass me the orange measuring stick thingy? I think it's in the closet. Yeah. Thank you. And can you pass me the measuring tape, please?
The measuring tape?
Yes.
I dropped it. Mommy.
Thank you. Now I need to measure. This is at 18 3/8. How am I supposed to get this in? guys, I finished building the cube storage. This is it. It's big and heavy, I'm not gonna lie. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I built this, guys. I built this. Now to put it in the closet. I'm gonna shimmy it. I don't want to scratch the floors, but I also kind of need to like, okay. This needs to get out of the way. Okay. I can't believe I really did this. I mean, I can believe it, but it's so cool. Okay, let's see. Oh, perfect. It goes right up against the wall. Looks so good. So here's my dilemma. I have my shelves here, and then here would be like my shoe shelves. The only problem I'm having is if I were to put my shelves there, it starts to look really crowded over here. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but imagine I have a shelf there. It's just kind of like everything all like there. My initial plan for all of my shoe storage on the side, it doesn't look like it's going to work out. Either way, this can't go that close because then it really eliminates the storage space. Now I'm thinking I could even move it this way some. I really didn't want to hang clothes on the lower end on this side because I have that like water access, but my like kind of like thought process is I could do shoe shelves going up one of these sides. That might work. I feel like my plans have gotten completely derailed. I don't know. Guys, I don't know what to do. I feel lost right now. I felt like that would give me so much storage, but for some reason it's not adding up in my head now that I'm seeing it. I'm almost like, should I even attempt this? I'm kind of scared because this could fit like extremely well. Oh yeah. Because I really don't need that anymore. Okay. Wow.
You done? You done?
Not quite. Good morning, guys. It's the next day, and today we are going to do our best to finish up this entryway closet build. We got the main shelf structure assembled and installed. I also put the top shelf in place. Now what I'm gonna do is install some brackets on either side of my wall so that way my top shelf has some extra support on either end. I also want to install some brackets for my closet rods. Then I'm gonna also need to get to installing all of my shoe shelving. Last night I had this huge dilemma where I couldn't figure out exactly what to do regarding the shoe shelves, but the main purpose for this whole closet build was so that we have more storage for our shoes or just better organization for our shoes. And so when I started to realize that this corner felt really tight and it wasn't going to be the best use of space for the shoe shelves, I was like, okay, I need to try to put it on the other side, but I also need room to hang clothes. Well, my husband gave me a great idea and I'm going to show you guys right now. So pretty much my husband's idea was still do a closet rod, a rod here for hanging coats, do a rod here at the top and midway for some more coats. And then what I could also do is I can install my shoe shelves this way along that back or the side wall, so it would actually be a really good idea. There was another idea he gave me where I could put another rod just going this way to the side where she can also hang her coats and put some more shoes at the bottom. I also didn't want to do shelves over here because I don't know where exactly these pipes are running, but I'm sure they're running from down below since it stops there. So I think we're in the clear with that. So I have some scrap MDF that I'm going to use for the brace for my shelves, my shelf at the top. So I'm going to install it with my brad nailer. I used some scrap MDF pieces to serve as my shelf braces and nailed them into place using my brad nailer and 2.5-inch nails. I tried my best to fasten each nail in at an angle so that the braces would be properly secured to the wall. Some of my nail heads ended up still peeping through the boards a little bit, so I took a hammer to it to get everything nice and flush. Okay, I just installed my two like shelf braces on either side of the closet. So I went into my garage and I cut down one of the old shelf brackets that I had to smaller pieces since I already installed some newer pieces up there for the top shelf. I'm gonna reuse them so that I'm not wasting any material and I can also save some money. I cut it down to fit right in this section here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it against this wall here, and I'm also going to install it against this wall. And instead of the traditional way of putting a closet rod left to right, I'm going to install it from that back wall to the front of my closet here, so that way there's actually more hanging room. So if I were to hang it the traditional way just against this wall here, I'm only getting 15 inches of space, whereas if I hang it against the side of the closet, I'm getting 24 inches. So I'm able to get more hanging space for my daughter's coats on this side if I do it that way. Measure this again. Do 30 in place. I'm just going to make sure that this is level now. Perfectly level. I need to also mount one piece on this back wall here. You guys are probably not going to be able to see this, but it's all good. I cannot see. I'm just going to sneak in this little cubby. My daughter would love playing hide and seek in here. Okay. It's level. So it is level. So essentially, my daughter would be able to hang her coats going along this way. That's perfect. Did that really happen? Is that not long enough? So does that mean these are gonna fall too? Because you gotta be kidding me. What is happening? Okay, that should be much better. Problem solved. Good morning, guys. It's the next day. I'm wearing the same clothes because I don't want to ruin more clothes. Anyways, I still need to put up my shoe shelves. So what I'm going to be doing is cutting down some scrap MDF so that I can use those as my shelf supports for my shoe shelving. I'm also going to be cutting down my face frame pieces, which will allow everything to look super custom and built in and finished. But I'm not going to install it just yet because I need to paint everything, prime and paint everything before I do that. And yeah, let's get to it. I'm almost done. I really am. Let's go. I used my circular saw to cut down some more strips of MDF for my shoe shelves. I was initially a little nervous about getting these cuts really straight, but this step went pretty well and I was pleasantly surprised with the results. I also took this opportunity to cut down some leftover pine that I had using my miter saw so that I could use these pieces for my shoe shelving. Okay guys, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna start my first shelf for my shoes in here, and I have my pair of like boots that are like one of the tallest pairs that I have, but I want to kind of use this as a gauge of like how high I want this first shelf to sit. This piece is like the perfect height, so I'm gonna use that. I have my level here. I'm gonna use to draw a line. Why does it keep moving? Okay, so now I can put my support piece here. Okay, you guys, it's gonna be so hard for you to be able to see what I'm doing, but Just know I'm nailing in the support pieces. Probably want to put the eyewear on. Okay. Oh, that was bad. Let's put the shelf in. See? So there's shelf number 1, and my boots fit perfectly under there. Love that. Now, on to shelf number 2. Okay, so if you can see here, although I cut my shelves to 24 inches, my wall's not straight, and so there is a pretty decent sized gap here, and even with my supports the shelves can fall down. So what I ended up doing was I attached a smaller piece to my support so that it gives even more like thickness to hold my shelf. Okay guys, so I just finished the first 4 shelves for my shoes, and I didn't have enough MDF to make 5 shoe shelves like I had originally planned to do, but I definitely have a lot of like leftover material in my garage, and that includes some pieces of plywood. This is plywood, right? Is this plywood? I think it's plywood, yeah. I can't, my brain is like not wanting to function properly right now. Anyways, so I had some extra plywood in the garage. This is a very thin piece, and it's not exactly 12 inches deep. It's only 7.5 inches deep, but it'd be the perfect shelf to use on the very top so that my daughter is able to put her shoes there. This shelf will be a little bit more shallow. I think it'll work. Since the plywood is a lot lighter in weight, I just used some leftover of these, like, I think they're 1x2s. Okay guys, so I finished installing that last shelf, and now I'm going to measure out my face frame pieces for the shoe shelves so that way I can get everything cut down for that. And then once I cut my face frames for the shoe shelves, I'm done with cuts, and then I can get on to priming and painting and installing my face frame pieces. I'm so excited. Good morning guys, it's the next day. I am finally getting to priming and painting these closet shelves. I'm going to start off with priming everything since this is MDF, and MDF is prone to swelling when exposed to water. I really want to make sure that I give it a nice good prime to seal everything off before I even install my face frame pieces. Now I know my face frame pieces are going to be covering like the raw edges of the MDF, but just to be extra cautious, I want to make sure that I prime it before attaching my face frame pieces, and that way also when I get ready to put my paint coat on, everything is nice and smooth and the coverage is really good. So let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my shoe shelves because I'm going to roll those on my table. I have a table here set up, little paint station if you will. It was finally time to make these shelves look a little bit nicer. I began by covering everything in this 1-2-3 primer that would seal the MDF and ensure that there would be no bleed through when it was time to apply my coats of paint. This step was pretty straightforward. You guys have seen me paint so many things throughout the different projects in my home, and I always think that painting can be very therapeutic and just a peaceful project. So Once I was done priming the base of my closet shelf build, I moved on to priming my shoe shelves, and I utilized my little paint station that I had set up here so that way I could get all the coverage that I needed on these shelves. Just finished priming everything in the closet. Now I'm going to go ahead and caulk all of my shelf seams so that everything looks really seamless and built in, and then I'll apply the face frame pieces and then we can get to painting. Caulking is always one of those really tiny steps that have a really big impact, and you can definitely see that in this case. I finished caulking all of the seams in the closet so everything looks nice and seamless. Now what I'm going to be doing is installing my face frame pieces so that everything looks nice and built in, and then I can go ahead and prime my face frame pieces. I'm going to put this piece up first. I don't remember what side is what. It looks so much better already just with the face frame pieces up. For this step, I used some 1x2 pine boards to give a very nice and clean finish to the shelving, and now that the face framing was being installed, everything was really coming together and it really just elevated this build that much more and gave it such a custom look. I definitely feel like these are the steps that separate a custom build from really low quality flat pack shelves that may not even hold up over time. Let's try this again. I shaved it down just a little more. You've got to be kidding me. Is it really not going to fit? Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. Looks so good. I was trying to notch out this face frame piece because I don't want to cut into my baseboards in the closet, and I really wanted to like frame out the shoe shelves so that everything looks built in. Even though the shelves are technically removable, I want it to look like it's built in, so you guys are gonna see how I achieve that look. I nailed this face frame piece to my lower shelf. I can still move the shelves if I need to remove them, it's not an issue, but it will still give it a built-in look. So here where I have the notch, I'm going to nail this face frame piece in to the support here and at the top. Perfect. So this one will go here. A hole. Oh, there we go. Once all of my face framing was installed, I needed to prime the face frame pieces so that they were sealed and that no tannins would bleed through my paint, just like I did with the rest of the build. When the coat of primer dried, I applied my first coat of paint to everything, and of course my design consultant jumped right in to help me. Careful not to get it on your clothes, okay? You got some good coverage on there, girl. Painting is of course her favorite part of any DIY project after all. So I finished my first coat of paint in the closet shelving system. Now what I'm going to be doing is using some Dry Deck spackle to fill all of my nail holes, and then I will touch up paint. Between coats of paint, I filled my nail holes with spackle and did a second coat of paint off camera once it was all dry. I finally finished off this project with installing all of my closet rod hardware and my closet rod so that I'm able to hang my coats up. Once I was done with that, I got everything cleaned up, and this was the end of the project. I am so happy with how this closet build turned out. Not only is the storage system functional for our family, but it is beautiful. And let's not forget, it is super budget friendly. I was able to complete this build for just $100, excluding the primer, paint, and caulk, which I already had on hand because of my previous project. But I truly believe that this is such a beginner-friendly project, and you can get it done with a little time and even fewer power tools. This just goes to show that with a little creativity and a bit more hard work, you can truly create something awesome and useful for your space. So guys, we have come such a long way with this entryway, and now we're down to the nitty gritty. We're down to the final details that's going to bring everything together and just make everything pop and just really special. So with that being said, I'm going to start off with installing these sconces. And I actually got these sconces, you guys wouldn't believe it, for $7 on Mercari. And technically, I actually paid nothing for them because Mercari is like a hidden gem. It's one of my little secrets that I hold on to, but I'm sharing it with you guys. I don't even know if I should share this because man, there's some good stuff on there for really good pricing. But anyways, I used to sell on Mercari, and because I know that a lot of that money I was making was extra money to do projects in the home, I just kept the balance sitting there so that way if there was anything that I wanted or needed for a certain project or a space in the home, I can just go ahead and use that money. And I got these sconces. They are not hardwired, they're rechargeable, and they're cordless, so it's gonna be perfect. You guys saw in my like trim video, the video that I did all the molding in here, that I marked these X's in the entryway. This is where I'm essentially putting the sconces. I've had it mapped out for months now, but I'm finally gonna be installing them. But I did test them when they first got here, so everything should be good. Let's install these sconces. So here's my dilemma. I have it marked off where I wanted this to go, or where I had planned to put or install these sconces here. I really like it a little bit lower, like about here, but I just feel like it sticking over this alarm panel would look really strange. So I'm like, okay, what if I just kind of meet it like halfway to where that was? And as you can see here, the bottom of the sconce would just like barely graze the top of the panel. Obviously it's not going to touch it because the panel's way more flush to the wall than the sconce is, but I'm like wondering if that would look strange or if I need to like keep it up here. I don't know, I just feel like the height of it looks better lower. Like even if I could get it here, that would look so good, but obviously I can't because the panel's there and that looks just really bad. So okay, what do you think? Does this look weird, having the tip of this like just barely grazing the panel?
Yeah, I'd put it higher.
Really? Because it like if you come over here and look at it, it just looks so good at this height. Okay, look, no, look. So wait, you're saying I should leave it exactly how I marked it, or you think there is okay? It looks weird to you? No, I think that's fine, right? Really? Oh, brother. From here, it doesn't look that bad. Once I got over my little dilemma, I was able to start installing my sconces. Now, I can't really say that I didn't run into a hiccup along the way. Like, I don't understand what kind of anchor this is. Like, it doesn't even expand, so. You see? I knew these anchors were horrible. What kind of anchor is that? Ah! It fell in the wall.
It fell in the wall?
The anchor. I knew. I'm like, these anchors don't look good. It's not coming out. I don't know what to do. Okay, what do I do? What do I do? This is bad. I don't know what to do because I don't want to make a bigger hole in the wall. This is horrible. Okay, that's went in the back of the wall. I'm gonna have to use these even bigger anchors. Ah! Guys, I've clearly made a fool of myself because those anchors that came with the sconces, trash, horrible, not good. I'm literally like, how are they gonna hold anything if it's literally like this most narrow thing? It doesn't expand at all. So I'm like, how is this gonna stay in the wall? I have no clue. So try to use my easy anchors, but I don't know where the screws are that fit these anchors. So I'm gonna have to look for that because without the right screws, these anchors don't actually work right. And I don't want to damage the wall further. So this is gonna stick out of the wall until I find those screws. And it's almost dinner time, so probably we'll do this tomorrow, which is crazy because this is such an easy task. I'm like, surely I'll get it done today and then I can chill, but that didn't happen. And you guys know that's normally how it works. So yeah, amazing. You guys didn't even see what I just did, but pretty much this went a lot smoother than the first time. So I'm not mad about that. Having the right anchors really makes all the difference, and I was so happy that I picked up the proper easy anchors that I needed because the install went so smooth after that and I didn't have to worry at all about these sconces falling out of the wall eventually. While I really love these sconces, one thing that I didn't like was that the box did not come with any sort of instructions on how to install it whatsoever. So I really had to put my thinking cap on and figure it out, but it all came together really nicely. Okay guys, so we finished installing the sconces. Now I want to turn my attention to a very minor detail that to me makes a huge impact, and that is my door hinges. These look really bad. They looked bad before I painted the door, but obviously there was some white paint on them already. They just look kind of really dirty, and then I got some black paint on them as well. And either way, these are like a nickel color, which I don't really care for, and it just is not really, it's not really adding anything to this space. So I got some 4-inch door hinges. These are matte black, and I just feel like it's gonna look so much more seamless and tie everything together. And some people may think this is a very unnecessary step, but I am such a detail-oriented person that this bothers me, and I rather do something all the way through. And so I'm gonna go ahead and replace my door hinges. While I was a bit nervous when replacing these door hinges, this wasn't exactly my first rodeo. This is gonna be interesting. Just look how gross that is. That is so nasty. It's gonna look so much better. I just know it. These holes are in different spots, which means I'm drilling new holes in this thing. Actually, yeah, close that. Actually, don't. Sorry, don't. My finger's right there. We don't want that. That'd be horrible. Guys, I literally installed the hinge on backwards, so if I try to close the door, it won't. Like, it gets stuck right there. So, yeah, I probably need to take this off and flip it around. Woohoo, woohoo! I didn't think that through when I did what I did. So, I had it installed this way, so it was never gonna close. I need to install it this way. I made a couple of mistakes along the way, but I was able to backtrack and correct my mistakes. All the way. Let's see. Back to my experience with installing door hinges. As a young girl, I remember helping my dad with replacing door hinges of some sort in one of his rental properties back in the day. And so while I've never actually done this on my own without any other adult supervision, I definitely had some level of familiarity with it, and so I was able to tackle this head on, fears and all, and in the end I got it sorted out and the door opens and closes just fine. Okay, I made it. I finished before hubby gets back. Yes. I always like finishing it before he gets back so I can be like, look what I did while you were gone for like 5 minutes. Wow, looks amazing. Let me just show you the door being closed all the way. Wow, look at that. Looking good. Hello guys, it is the very next day. I left you guys off where I installed our entryway sconces and I changed out all of the hinges for this front door so that I have the matte black that really like blends into this front door. Now I want to turn my attention to a little minor detail, but it's something that obviously sticks out to me, and that is this sensor here. I think it's a doorbell sensor. I'm not really sure because I think this was pre-existing before we purchased our house and got all our security system installed. But because it's on the side where the wall is, I want it to blend in more with the wall, and I got some black paint on it, so I need to remove that. And so I'm going to use some cotton rounds and Q-tips and some rubbing alcohol and just scrub away at it, and I'm sure that'll do the trick. I also got a little bit on our front door sensor, which we spoke to our security company. I'm not allowed to have that painted, so I actually need to get the little bit of paint that I have on it off, and I initially was planning on painting it to blend in with the door, but it's not allowed apparently, even though we pay for it, which is whatever. Anyways, so we're gonna do that. I have some touch-ups that I need to do. I just have a little bit more here. After getting the excess paint all cleaned up, I headed to Lowe's to grab a couple of things that I needed for the next step in this process. And while we were there, we saw a little robot that was taking inventory of the whole store. It was pretty cool and super futuristic. I'm curious if any of you have ever seen one of these in your local Lowe's. So this is the receptacle that I'm going to be replacing. As you can see here, it's all chipped up with paint and just looks really bad. So we're going to be changing it out with a brand new one. I have this receptacle tester to make sure that when I'm done rewiring everything that it's been done complete and accurately. And then I have the voltage tester so I can make sure that my wires are not hot when hubby takes the breaker off. Yeah, so let's go ahead and turn that breaker off so I don't get electrocuted. Okay, what do we have here? I feel like that should be good. Let's see. No light, so it's good. So just to double check, I'm gonna use this again, make sure all my wires are good, and they are. So I can now feel confident. I think I'm gonna do it one by one, so it's easier to match everything up. Hold on, okay. Found a really tiny flathead screwdriver that hopefully should work. Oh, got it. Whew. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I need to get this one off. Okay, so I'm just gonna put them in the exact same way. Okay, I got them all in. Now I just need to push this baby back in there. Breaker's back on. Okay, let me see. Yay! It says correct wiring, so we're good to go. This, have my voltage tester, just want to make sure. You may be wondering, what makes me so confident that I feel I'm able to do these things on my own? And well, let's just say I've been exposed to a lot of these different things since I was a little girl, and that includes also switching out light switches and receptacles. I also helped my dad with this kind of stuff when I was younger, and so I am just familiar with some of these things. And even though I may not remember every single detail step by step, I tend to do a lot of research before tackling a project, and it really helps me to feel more comfortable when doing something like this on my own. Okay guys, so I found my other like rocker switches. Turns out I have enough three-way rockers to change out all the ones in this hallway so that it can match the kitchen. The only thing is that I would need to cut down the plate for the one on that wall. I asked hubby which one he likes better, and he likes the rocker, which it's not that I have a preference. I think the rocker feels more modern, so I am gonna just switch this back out to a rocker one, and I have enough. You guys will notice that I love to engage my daughter in a lot of the different projects that I do around the house because she is in such an exploratory stage in her life, and these are the moments that she's going to remember and that will stick with her. Even if she's not able to recollect all of the minor details, she will remember that she helped me with things like this. And when she gets older and she starts to develop her own interests, these are the kind of things that will help her and give her a lot of skills and abilities when she is ready and willing to tackle her own projects, whether that be DIY or home related or not. Pass me another one.
You do that.
Here. Wow, look at you. And don't you guys worry, the breakers were all off, the power was off. This is simply just her helping me put the switch plate cover on, and she did not do any kind of electrical work at all, so don't worry there. There we go, beautiful. Did the light turn on? Yep. Turn it off. What about this one? Wow. Okay guys, I've changed these two out so it looks nice and fresh. Let's test it out. Okay, this works great. But now I can put the plate on. I'm going to caulk in here again with white caulk this time instead of clear, so the paint shouldn't crackle on here and it'll look a lot better. Electrical work is done officially in this hallway. Okay, that looks so much cleaner. Okay guys, you may be wondering, why am I back over here by the door again? And that's because I need to do some touch-ups. I have some Q-tips here and my door paint that I used for this door. And what I'm going to be doing is these little parts here. I'm just going to shake it up because I honestly don't want to have to stir it. All I used for this step were some Q-tips that I dipped into the paint, and I spot treated the little areas where I needed to fill in any scratches or just parts that didn't get full coverage. Okay, this is our old mail holder and key holder. I was going to make my own like mail holder out of wood and make it really pretty, but I want to close this Entryway series out, and this works just fine for us. It's from Target, but I got it from a liquidator store, so there's like a piece missing, but you literally would never be able to tell unless you knew exactly what it looked like. So this is of course my very favorite part with any room makeover that I do, and of course I always pay attention to the minor details like the screws that were holding up our mail holder. I did use some of that door paint to blend them in and that they wouldn't stand out, and I also switched out this light switch cover to a really pretty brass looking one, just to make it pop a little bit more and bring some of those other tones into that corner. Just so you guys know, I snagged this entry table on Facebook Marketplace basically for free after I sold a piece for the very same price in our home. You guys know that I love a little mix of newer and older items, and that's exactly what I have here. I have some thrifted decor, some that I purchased new, some secondhand from Facebook Marketplace, and I just think that it all comes together really well. One thing I do want to do is use some Rub and Buff to change the tone of that gold mirror because it is a little yellowy orange for me, and I want to just tone it down a little bit, but that's for another time. And I know someone is bound to make a comment about this, but I do plan to secure this mirror to the wall, just not in this video. Please know that I am aware of the safety hazards. And now guys, this is the reveal of the Entryway makeover. We have come such a very long way. Honestly, this has been such a labor of love, and I believe that it really does show. The results speak for themselves. Everything just feels like such a breath of fresh air when we walk into our entryway, and it's no longer this mediocre, dingy, and dark feeling entry, but it's now just a really bright and cozy entryway that I think really stands out. When you first walk in, it really brings your attention to the space, and that's the feeling that I want to create throughout the rest of our home. And as we continue to do more projects and more makeovers, I really want to continue to hone my skills and further develop my design style, and I feel like this entryway has really like catapulted that for me in a lot of different ways. The most amazing thing to me is that I was able to transform this entire entryway for just over $500. A little sweat equity, some DIY skill, and creative upgrades turn the space into something completely new. If you got this far in the video, I just want to thank you so very much for watching. You guys have joined me along this very long journey. Here we are at the end. Everything looks so beautiful, and I'm curious to know what you guys think about the end result. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to leave a like, comment of course, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and be blessed.